Yes, I think we are on live now. So within soon, people will connect with us.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting few more seconds. I mean, so more people get connected, and then we'll start soon.
Sure.
That's good. So anyway, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are watching our live sessions today. This is Obijit Khuri. I'm the CEO and founder of GRK International Education Consultants. If you don't know, about us, GRK International Education Consultants, we are mostly working for Sweden and most other European countries, and also recently we have started working for Canada. So today, actually, our session will be mostly about study in Sweden. And I have a special guest with me today, and he's Mr. Tanjim Rajarov. He's from Bangladesh. So we'll go to him and ask about himself. So Tanjim, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. Thank you for your introduction and inviting me to this program. So, as you have told, I'm Tanzim Razarov. I'm from Bangladesh. I came to Sweden in 2018 to study in Linnaeus University, and I'm doing my master's in international affairs. I have just only extended my thesis last semester, so I will be done with my master's here hopefully by next semester. And also, I'm doing another master's in Malmo University, which I started last year. That's in global politics. So I still have one more year left of that. And
Okay,
so it's 2 years of Swedish experience I can talk about.
all right, that's great. That's great. You're doing quite a great job, actually. I mean, if we go back, actually,
Yeah.
so when did you come to Sweden?
I came to Sweden in August 2018. And I think, if I remember correctly, when I came to Sweden and I came to my accommodation in PG 10, that's when I met you for the first time, and you were
Mhm.
very helpful to me, and which I really appreciate because I did not realize because when I first came, I was a bit, depressed for
Mhm,
first few
mhm.
hours, and then you helped me with your a pillow, which I still use. So I tell everyone that I will
Uh-huh,
always be
uh-huh.
thankful to you for
It's all right. It's all
those
right.
first days help.
I love to do that. I mean, because um, as you know, I studied abroad as well. In few countries, I mean, I worked there as a student. So I know, first day is always difficult for international students. It doesn't matter. I mean, how much money do you have in your credit card or debit card, but
Exactly.
still you are new in that countries. So
Exactly.
it's really, really important. So I just tried anyway. So, I mean, there are so many countries, of course. So, why have you chosen Sweden?
Well, when I completed my bachelor's in law from University of London and I started law practice in Bangladesh,
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the environment that is currently in our law practice back home. So I was thinking of going abroad, and Sweden came as an option for me because I like the country. It's beautiful. Secondly, financially, it was more beneficial for me because I could afford the tuition fees if I had to pay, and I did not get a
Mm-hmm.
scholarship. So I had to pay to the tuition fees. And then I opted Linnaeus University because, first of all, I like the course structure, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really good. Like, it had all the things that I wanted to study from political science as a subject. And then also the city, like, I went onto their webpage and I saw this video of Vecra, and I loved
Mm-hmm.
it. And I decided, okay, this is going to be my option.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I ended up coming to Sweden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Baku is a really, really nice city actually.
Yeah.
They say it it's a greenish city, not only in Sweden but also all over Europe.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good actually. Like you have chosen, and I mean, of course, then I mean, you have taken. I think you have taken one of the good decision actually. It's good. It's good. And then
It was
finally, I met you. Like that
yeah,
was
we
another
yeah,
good thing for
that's
me.
nice. Yeah, it was nice meeting you, and I have met like a lot of nice people from all around the world here,
Mm-hmm.
and it has been like I don't regret coming to Sweden or neither to Linnaeus University and Vectra. It has been a great experience so far.
Mm-hmm. So could you please tell us about the university bit more, about Linnaeus
So
University?
yeah, so Linnaeus University is like as they say in their webpage too, like it's a very international university, and it's very true because you see diverse people coming from like very different backgrounds and from different countries. And the best part about Linnaeus University is the campus, which like I have the opportunity to go to another university in Sweden, and there is no campus like Linnaeus University. When there is a campus, you see more people engaging with each other, especially the library. Like I before Corona, when the library was open until 10 p.m., the library is a very good place to study. It's a quiet, calm place, and if you still want to have, like, you want to do group study, you have separate rooms where you can go and sit. You have very close by coffee places. You go out to have coffees. And university, the teachers, especially my faculty, it has been like it has been up to my expectations, to be honest. Yeah, there are a few lackings definitely, which is everywhere. We don't expect everything to be met, but at the same time, as a university, it provides you all the opportunities you need to excel in your academia, in your career, and also build networks.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, how about the differences, education system differences between Bangladesh and Sweden? Actually, if you want to, if I ask you to compare.
Well, as you know, I did my OA
Mm-hmm.
levels and then I studied my bachelor's from University of London. So I am not the best person to compare Swedish education system.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Understand. Understand.
But at the same time, like I would, if I say little things like the teaching approaches, it's very different because here you with teachers like, and the first day you see that you call the teachers by their name, which we coming from Asia, it's not normal for us.
Mm-hmm.
So those little things actually change the way you engage with your teachers. Here they are more friendly. You can approach them in like through emails, through phone calls, or face to face, however you like.
And most importantly, you can call them by their name
Exactly.
rather than saying sir and madam and so
Exactly.
many executives.
Exactly. And that also creates a very friendly atmosphere between the teachers and the students, which
Like
is, I
friends.
think, which is very good because
Mm-hmm.
if you want to engage into your like further excel into your academia, if you're engaged with your teacher, then that's actually great because then you
Mm-hmm.
come to know about more opportunities available for you as a student in this field.
Mm-hmm. Understand. Understand. That's really good thing. Yeah. And how about your program actually? Like, could you please tell us about your program more? Like international affairs, the
Sure.
one you are studying right now.
So we like I was the first batch of master students in international affairs. When we started our first 2 semesters, the courses were actually designed so that you excel, like even if you're new to political science, which I was. I did not study political science before. So that was a like issue I had before coming here, whether I will be able to adapt to this new field. But the program is structured in a way so when you start the course in your first semester, you're actually getting basic political science knowledge, at the same time more intermediate ones. So you have to cope up with both, and you get good time. Like every course is given a very good length of time so that you can like read about the course lectures, you understand them, and then you move on to the next course. So in that way the structure is very good because you go through step by step and it's not like a sudden move.
Mm-hmm.
And the third semester you get opportunity to take subjects like courses whichever you want because it's no more mandatory. those you can do courses from. There are new courses which have been recently introduced in our faculty too, in international affairs
Mm-hmm.
department. Also, you can take courses from peace and
Development,
development studies,
development studies.
which they have few interesting courses. Like there is one in negotiating peace, which is very, very, very interesting as far as I've heard from other students too doing that course. And also there are courses in developmental studies, and teachers from those faculty have also experience of going to Africa for their field studies or working there. Like one of the teachers, Heiko, he actually works with BRAC in Bangladesh, so he knows a
Mm-hmm.
lot about those places too. So then you can, as a student coming from Asia, you can also give them, as a student, you also are valuable to them because you also know a few things about your place which they can benefit from.
Exactly.
Yeah. And as a whole, as I said, like it's a very diverse classroom. So you have people from Sweden, all around Europe, from African region, from Asian region. So when like you talk about any particular subject, you have multiple perspectives coming into that, and that actually helps you to think. Like you understand, okay, you can think about election system or democracy in a different way, because we Asians think about election in a way, Europeans think in a different way. So that is a very good environment to study.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can, yeah, link up with
Yeah,
different
true.
systems,
Yeah,
because of course, like in Asia, Africa, the system is bit different than in Europe or USA,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
So as you said, like there is very diversified classrooms, and then
Yeah,
you have a teacher, and not only teacher but also in classmates. They are from different countries,
exactly.
so you can mix it together.
Exactly. Like I remember when I started the courses at the first, first time, the first two courses, I was like, I did not, we had to do, you have a group, the final paper is mostly in our faculty, it's always a group paper. So you do with another classmate of yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I did with another classmate of mine from Bangladesh, and we did it in a way. And then I realized through working and submitting those papers, getting feedbacks from other fellow classmates and teachers that, okay, these are the things that I can improve on. In
Mm-hmm.
doing so later, I worked with one of my friends from, she's from Sweden. And then when we used to engage in group studies, we found that she was really interested to know about my perspectives, and I was really interested to know about her perspectives, because we could
Mm-hmm.
benefit each other, and we
Exactly.
were helping each other to develop in our studies, and we were doing better papers by course by course.
So okay, so I mean, Prom is saying, like, if I make the gist, like, most importantly, like, it's not only students are learning from the teachers and classrooms, but also they can learn from their fellow classmates, and it's a lot.
Exactly, exactly. And that's, you have also studied here, and you have
Yeah, I
also
know,
went
I
to
know, I
Belgium
know.
to do your Erasmus. So, like it's very beneficial. It helps you to think in different ways, which probably I wouldn't have if I didn't do that paper with a friend of mine.
Yeah, true. Actually, like, I I agree with you. Like, as the student, like when we are traveling to other countries, it's not only we are learning something from the university. What is written on the textbook, we are not only learning that. We are learning different cultures and
Exactly.
so many other things. And another opportunity is like when, especially like when we are staying at the accommodation, through the university accommodation, then you can stay with other countries students. That will also benefited you, because when
Yeah.
you are eating even food, you are discussing about some other countries uh, politics or
Yeah.
economy
Exactly.
or something
Exactly.
else. So actually you are learning something actually,
Yeah.
even though
Definitely.
you are having fun with friends, but still you are learning something.
Definitely. Definitely. And I
Mm.
think like since we used to live in the same corridor,
Exactly,
you
exactly,
know a lot of people in our corridor, and new
exactly.
people came in. So yeah, that definitely helped. Like you meet different people from China, from Spain, from Greece, like
I
all
mean,
over the
from
world.
all over the world. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly,
it's an
exactly,
international university, so you are getting
exactly,
the people in all over the world, from all over the
exactly.
world. So it's a really great thing.
Yeah.
But what do you think after finishing this master's program? I mean, what could be your future after finishing this?
Well, one thing that is like raw fact and truth about Sweden is you have to learn the language.
Yes.
Like if you want to do any job, then you might find, yeah, you will probably find that any job you want to do in a restaurant or like any work you get. But if you plan that, I want to, like, before I came here, I planned that my first target is goal is going to be either doing a PhD or I'm going to look for a good job like when I end my studies.
I mean, skill job. Yes.
Exactly. So you, if you have to do that, you have to learn Swedish. That's mandatory here. Yeah, there are few people either get lucky, or if you're, especially if you're studying IT, then you have more probability to get a job without knowing the language. And a lot of people do that. I know a few people from India, Pakistan, even from Bangladesh who got IT jobs without knowing the language. But if you're from any other field, I would say you have to know the language. So that is something I'm working on. I am learning Swedish, not as much as I've hoped to by now, but still I understand a bit. I speak little, so that's a work in progress. But hopefully, if I can complete both my masters properly with good grades and with a good thesis paper, then I'm hopeful to get a either land a PhD in Sweden, or also I'm going to look out in other places in Europe or the whole world, because like education never goes to drain. You can always utilize it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also, if not, then I'm also going to look for jobs, and I'm working on that because networking is very important when it comes to job. Like,
Yes.
we think back in our home, okay, this referencing thing only works in our places,
No,
but yeah,
it's not true.
referencing also works here in a different way.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that is how I hopefully see my future.
But let me ask you one more question. Like regarding these issues, like as you said, I mean, you emphasized on learning language for new students. I
Yeah.
mean, for the students. Okay, but I mean, let's say you if you finish your degree and then if you go for NGO and some other, I mean, NGO related companies. I know like most of the NGO.
Yeah.
So if you get the job over there without even being very good in Swedish.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if it's like, yeah, NGOs are normally very international, but at the
Yes.
same time, if I want a job in Sweden, suppose if my job location is in Sweden, then the NGOs would prefer me speaking Swedish, like,
Hmm.
which is very normal. I understand, because if you're working in like a working environment, everyone should know a common language. Like, just
True.
like, in Bangladesh, the common language is Bengali.
No,
So
true.
Swedish is the common language. So they expect us to learn the language. So it's not like you have to speak fluent Swedish like a Swedish. But if they see that you are giving the effort and you also have skills, then, like, I personally don't see that will be a barrier in getting a job,
Yes.
because it's not only about the language. At the same time, without the language you can't do anything.
Yep. No, yeah, I mean, it depends, what you are doing and what you are looking for. I mean, you have to find out
Exactly.
your own way.
Exactly.
Even
Exactly.
myself, like, I'm from business background,
Yeah.
right? So, like, when I came to Sweden, so many people, yeah, if you don't know Swedish, you can't do anything. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm running my company is 5 years. I
Yeah.
know barely 50 Swedish words, not sentence, words. You know that very well. I,
Yeah.
I, I know taxonomic, like just few words,
Yeah.
not much.
Yeah.
But so I find out my own way so that I can
Exactly.
survive. And I'm doing quite well if you know that,
Yeah.
that very well. So,
Definitely.
so these are the things, because when we are talking here, because of course there are some people, those are listeners, they will have to be clear that actually it's
Exactly.
not even if they don't understand Swedish, if they don't learn Swedish, their life will be hell. It's not only that.
No.
It
No.
depends on
Definitely
so
not.
many things. What are they looking for? And on the
Exactly.
other hand, I would like to add that if someone wants to know Swedish, that's not that difficult even.
Exactly.
Swedish has lots of, I mean, similarities with English.
Yeah.
So of course, people might ask me, then why can't we speak in Swedish? Yes,
Yeah,
I can tell them because I didn't put my time for that.
exactly.
I put my time for something else. You know that very well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, the students, what I would like to say, the students who like to come to Sweden, they shouldn't be scared. Oh, I must have to learn language. Other than that, I cannot do anything. I mean, language is second option, but first of all, you must have to finish your degree. That's the
Yeah.
most important thing.
Definitely.
If you wanna do something great, you must have to finish your degree. That's the most important thing, rather than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, yeah, I think you pointed out something good, and which I think I should clarify a bit because, like, people might misunderstand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can live in Sweden without knowing a single word of Swedish. That is not a problem because everyone speaks good English, or at least they can speak English
Yes, I mean,
wherever you go.
especially young generation, especially young
Exactly.
generation.
Exactly. But the thing is, as you say, the purpose matters. So if your purpose is you want to live here doing something like a proper job, when you say a skilled job, suppose, or suppose you want to excel in your academia, then it matters what kind of Swedish language you need according to your purpose. So
Exactly.
you have to know your purpose beforehand. You knew your purpose before coming to Sweden, what you want to do with your masters, or what you
Exactly.
want to do in this country after a few years. So if you're clear about your purpose, then, like, the language shouldn't matter. At the same time, if your purpose requires you to learn the language, then it's also normal that we should learn Swedish. And yeah,
Yes.
just like you, I blame myself not being able to learn the language properly by now, because Sweden gives the opportunity to do SFA
Yes.
for free,
Yes.
which I don't have, like, it's very rare now. And yeah, are they closing down SFA schools? Yes, they are. But at the same time, there are still opportunities for more years to come, where you have Swedish language learning opportunities for free. There are Språk cafes that happen, which is Swedish speaking cafes that happen in every single city in this country. You can
Yes.
go there, you have Swedish speaking people, like Swedish people speaking Swedish, you have immigrants speaking Swedish. So opportunities are here in this country to learn the language. Like, but yeah, our life becomes hard because we come here as international students, we need to pay our tuition fees. At the same time, we have to pay our housing cost, we have to earn for our living. That's why it becomes hard. But at the same time, I have seen people here who have who are doing their studies properly, completing credits in time, doing jobs, and at the same time learning Swedish. So it depends on
Yes.
the person.
Exactly. You have 24 hours in a day, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have 24 hours in a day. I mean, it will depend on you, or it will. I mean, even I was a student.
Yeah.
So I came from middle class family. I
Yeah.
didn't come from billionaire family. So I finished my bachelor and masters from abroad. It was not such easy things.
Definitely.
So, but you have to calculate. You have 24 hours in a day. How many hours you will sleep? How many hours you will study? And
Yeah.
you, I mean, we have to know how we are using our time.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like,
if we just go for the fun and doing nothing, focusing on our career, then there is no point.
yeah,
Then
exactly.
we'll lose our track. Yes, please
Like,
carry on.
I remember you saying, like, when we used to talk sometimes at night about like life in Sweden and everything, you used to say that if people go on to watch dramas in YouTube and not using their time to learn the language or for their studies, then they can't blame Sweden or they can't blame the country.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
I agree with that.
Because it's us,
Definitely.
what we are looking for. I mean,
Yeah.
as I said, like I'm from business background. It was not easy for business graduate. I mean, to find out their own way. So I know it could be difficult to, I mean, maybe get a job. Though I never ever searched job in Sweden.
Yeah.
You know that. But
Yeah.
I started my own company.
Yeah.
Even maybe you will be happy to know that. Like hopefully by next year, by May June, we are planning for two more ventures in Sweden.
That's great.
Yeah, we have two more ventures is coming up. We are planning for that.
Yeah.
So you have, I mean, what is my, I mean, point of saying, my point of saying is there is opportunity. You have to find out your own way. And also we have to understand that what we are good at.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
right? Maybe you are good at talking, so you have to do something related with talking.
Yeah,
You are good in IT, so you have to do something in IT.
yeah,
But if you are good in IT and you are going to the restaurant for work, it doesn't make any sense.
true.
So those are the things. And by the way, so besides the studying, what are you doing in Sweden?
So, besides studies, since coming to Linnaeus University, I realized that this is a country where I don't speak the language yet. So but at the same time, I want to be integrated into the campus life in this society, in this country. And one of the best ways to do that if you're studying is engaging into student associations.
Mm-hmm.
So I engaged into a student association in Linnaeus called ESN VECRA, which was
Mm-hmm.
VECRA International Students before. ESN
Exactly.
stands for Erasmus Student Network. Erasmus Student Network is one of the biggest student associations in not only Europe, but also all around the whole world. It is
Exactly.
in more than 40, 42 countries right now.
It is.
And there are like a lot of local sections in Sweden. So I joined there first as a volunteer and as an active member. I used to help out during events, then during pub nights, working there. And at the end of my first year, when they had their election for the new mandate, I applied for the position of secretary. I got elected there, and I worked 1 year as the secretary in the ESN Vector board. And then since then, I also applied to the Erasmus Student Network Sweden, the national level. And
Mm-hmm.
currently, like I got elected on May as the events coordinator. And also recently, I was elected as the vice president of ESN Malmo.
Wow,
So I have
congratulations,
been
Tanjim.
very active
Nice,
in.
nice to hear from you. You're doing such a great job. I mean, this
Yeah.
is what we want. I mean, our students will do something great. I mean, whoever it is, anyway. But I mean, as anyway, I'm from Bangladesh personally. You from Bangladesh. We want people to do something great. Nice to hear.
So yeah, I engaged into this network because I felt like there is a sense of community in the network. There is a sense of belonging. At the same time, you have fun. You also learn a lot of skills which you can't for like in any other places. No one will give you this opportunity. You don't get paid for anything. It's a very volunteer work, but at the same time you're learning little things and you're building networks and friendship, which is invaluable because like I have no one in this country. So when you come to a new country, you have to make your own connections, you have to make your own networks, you have to make your own friends.
Exactly.
So this network has given me that. And and I believe I have been also like I have been able to give something to the network in the local sections. Besides that, I did a part-time work last summer in a restaurant, which as everyone knows, what you fear of coming to Sweden, or you go to places where you're not paid. Yeah, that was that kind of a work where I did not get the Swedish payment, but it was my first experience of a job here. And then I
Mhm.
started working in Stables. It's a logistic warehouse in Vecra, and thankfully, due to a few fellow Bangladeshi here, they helped
Mhm.
me with this. They gave me reference, so I gave an interview for that, and then I got selected. So I worked in Staples. Also, I had the experience of working in a Swedish restaurant here. So that's
Mhm.
what I do to earn my living as extra work. I do ESN as a network, as engaging into a student association and learning few things through it, building friends, building connections.
That's great.
Yeah, that's basically what I do besides my studies here.
There is saying that like it's not only what do you know, but it's also important who do you know.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So if you know the people, top people
Yeah.
in your lives, and not only knowing, if you have very good connection with them,
Yeah.
then you can reach in top position as well.
Yeah, I think, and that's very important when you're coming to a new country. You can't expect everything to be given on a plate here.
Exactly.
So you have to work for it. It in through different ways. You either work in a place to earn your money, earn your living cost. That's very important. At the same time, you have to also engage into other places where you do not get paid. Suppose as ESN, I do not get paid
Yes.
for it, but what I get from it is connections, networks, and friends. Like I can confidently say that I can go to few countries in this world right now, and if I call them up, they would be very happy to host me.
Exactly.
That's also like something I believe has been added to my experience, because I did not only come to Sweden to just study or just to earn money. I came
Mm-hmm.
here to study, earn my living cost, and at the same time build friends and networks.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got few questions here.
Sure,
So let's answer the questions and then we'll get back to our
sure.
session as well. So here, we got few questions from Monjur Mosheshwar, your friend. Can you please discuss about the job market in Sweden after completing masters?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Shora. But yeah, as I've like we have talked about this a little bit, the job market in Sweden, if you're talking about skill jobs, which we will talk here, I guess, it's mostly it depends on the field you have studied. If you have studied something related to business or sales, suppose, where you have to engage with people, then you're expected to know Swedish, like at least proficient Swedish, where you can speak, you understand properly, because that is very normal. And that is something you can actually better talk about, because you studied business and you knew how this country was, what you can do with your degree. Therefore, you had your purpose straight before you even started your master's. So it depends on what kind of field you're talking about. But more or less, as I said, Swedish is a requirement here.
Yes, it depends.
Exactly.
It depends. I mean, if someone is study IT, they don't need it.
Yeah.
So actually, it depends like what they are looking for. But still, if Swedish is a requirement, is Swedish is not that difficult to learn.
Yeah. If you have the
Let me tell you
intention
one.
to
I
learn,
mean,
you can.
this is what I believe. I believe Swedish is easier than finishing masters in Sweden.
Like, I don't put the effort in doing that, so I
And
can't,
no,
honestly, I
no,
can't say.
exactly.
But
This is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
it's very few people who can finish their degree, right? It's not
yeah,
all of the people are coming, and the conversion rate is very few.
yeah,
So this
exactly.
is what I'm saying. So if 20% of the people are finishing their degrees, they
Yeah.
can also finish their Swedish as well.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, it's easier to. I mean, easier to learn the language than finishing the degrees.
Exactly.
Because educated people, I mean, those are finishing their degrees. Of course, those are educated people, right? So if
Yes.
they can finish the degree, they can I mean, finish the language as well if they want to. But the
Yeah,
problem is sometimes they don't afford their time.
yeah, exactly.
That's the problem. However, we have another question here, like how is the process to get PR after masters? Can you explain, please? Would
Well,
you like to explain?
I'm not a permanent
All right.
resident of
Um,
Sweden, so I can't say. But there are like, as far as I know, there are different ways. Either you do a PhD after your masters and you get a permanent resident, or if you get a work permit where you have salary more than
mhm.
13,500,
It's nothing here actually.
and you stay for 4 years, then you can get you become a permanent resident. Or you can get, if you get married to someone, or you stay as a sambo with a Swedish or a Swedish resident, then you can also stay. You can also do business like Ojit Bhaiya has done. So if you start up a business and you know what you want to invest in and you have a business plan, then you can also stay here. So it depends on the way you want to
Oh,
stay in Sweden.
it just there is way out, of course, to get the PR. So
Yeah,
you don't have
definitely.
to worry that much actually. What we'll say, please focus on your study first. Then, of course, you will get those things.
Exactly. And
That's the
yeah,
most important thing.
that's something which, like, if you're coming, regardless from where you're coming from, if you're coming to Sweden or anywhere in this world, I think you have
Anyway,
to
yeah,
understand that for the first few years you have to do hard work. Hard
yes,
work means studying, working, and then
making
hope
the
for the best.
networks. Yes,
Exactly.
I mean you will not get everything. I mean as planned.
Exactly.
Even we did so many things in 2019. We had lots of plan, but
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
happened in 2020. Corona
Yeah.
came. So,
Correct.
so now we are planning. I mean, with Corona, what can we do
Exactly.
through Corona? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even maybe if Corona wouldn't come, we wouldn't be here today in
Yeah,
this session.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
we are here today because of this Corona,
Yeah.
right?
I
So, I
agree.
mean, just be positive. Come, finish your degree. By this way, you can get settled. That's different thing. And
Yeah,
today,
if you think about
in
settlement
US, it
first,
is one of the good country to get settled.
yeah, definitely. But I like, I personally don't think that settlement should be your only plan to come here. That should be a definitely. We all come abroad, invest money, study to
We
stay.
have different plans. Yeah.
But if that is your only plan, then you have a very hard life here. Good luck.
True. True. So, market of competing. What do you, Shorob again? What do you think? How long will it take to finish Swedish language course?
It differs from person to person. The amount of effort you put in, like there are people who complete SFE level B, C, D in 6 months. There are people who do it in a year, and there are also people who can't do it in 3, 4, 5 years.
And
So
never.
it depends on how much effort you want to put
Exactly.
in.
It's like sometimes people ask, I mean, within how long can I finish my IELTS?
Yeah, exactly.
So can you give that answer? Of course,
No,
no.
yeah,
I mean, it
definitely.
depends on you. I mean, English skills.
Exactly.
Even so many people, they never ever go for IELTS. I mean, courses, but
Yeah,
they give IELTS, they get 7, 8
exactly.
because they're good in English. So it always, I mean, it depends on their personal skills. Actually, it's very
Yeah,
difficult to
it's a
say.
bit similar. Like if anyone asks, how easy is it to get a job in Vecra, suppose, it depends on how much effort you're putting in. If you're not putting in any effort, then you can't expect job to come to you.
And not also, I would like to add, not also how much you are affording, but also what, but also how skills you are.
Yeah, true.
And you have zero skills, and you are looking the job all the day long. How will
Yeah,
you get it? What job you are looking for? You have
exactly.
to understand your quality.
Exactly.
Sometimes people ask me, "Is there job?" But they never ask me what kind of job they're looking for.
Exactly.
Are they looking for IT job, business job? I mean, there are so many. If you search in Google, there are so many jobs. But what job are you looking for?
Yeah,
So that also important, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely.
you got
Definitely.
my point. I mean, if you are IT skills, you will get more quickly job than the business graduate.
Yes. Like there are a few people I know who even got a job before completing their masters in
There are
IT.
so many people. Even we
Yeah,
know so many people from Bangladesh who got job. Even if you finish
exactly.
their
Exactly.
masters. Even like we know Bishojit Da, we know
Exactly.
some other people. Even I have
Exactly.
friends. Like last time I made a live session with him. So who got the job? Very good job, and even they don't know any Swedish words.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't matter actually. Mm, all right. So here, can you please help me to know what is the procedure to apply to study at Linnaeus University? All right. Let me tell him these answers.
Sure.
All right. So in this case, actually, of course, you can do everything alone. But as you are asking the questions here, I can assume you cannot do all of the things alone. So in this case, please send us all of your academic documents to JRP International Education Consultants email address. On the screen. You have our email address and WhatsApp number. So feel free to contact with us. Then we will help you. Our dedicated team will help you out regarding this issue. But mostly you have to be qualified for that. So again, requirements and visa possibility. So I mean, if you are qualified and if you get the admission, then I mean, and if you meet all of the other requirements, what migration asks for, then definitely you will get the visa. There is no problem. But I mean, if you don't meet their criteria, then you will not get the visa. And mostly what happens, I mean, mostly when students get the admission, sometimes they ask for the interview. So in interview, mostly they look for uh, whether do you have study intention or not. Mostly, Tanjim, they ask them so many questions, but mostly they check these things mainly,
Yeah.
whether the students have study intention or not, or and at the same time, how are they reacting, and also how is their English. So if they don't know English, if they can't speak in English, then I mean the people from migration, they assume that these students doesn't have intention for the study, and they cannot finish their study if they give them the residence permit. So that's another problem. So if you're good in English, if you submit all of the documents perfectly, then of course you will get the visa. There will not be the problem. Would you like to add something, Tanjim?
No, I think the requirements differs from course to course, and also it matters like now IELTS is mandatory, so you have to give IELTS. That's a requirement. But
Mostly.
it matters. It differs from course to course, and if you're like I don't know, but I have heard people who came as your students here as JRT students, they have given like I read feedbacks in your page at least, and they give very good reviews. And I have met few people who came here as your students, so I believe if you work with someone, you definitely give them the right information, because I have known you, I have seen you working at times in your room or from your office, and you put effort in your work. That is something I can say for sure. But personally, I won't be able to say about your work, but you put effort. That is very visible. But yeah, requirements and visa possibility. Like if you have a very good profile in the sense you studied, you completed your bachelor's or master's, and you applied for the right program, not like you completed business and now you want to study chemical engineering. So it has to match with your profile. If you apply with all those fulfilling all the requirements, and you for sure know what you want to study on, then visa, I don't think that's a problem, because if you know what you want to do, you go for an, even if they call you for an interview, you already know why you want to study international affairs, for example. So that is not something you have to be told that okay, this is something you say.
Hmm.
But if they work with you, I'm sure you also like you have your own sessions with your students before coming here,
Yeah,
so that
exactly.
that will
Exactly.
definitely help. Yeah.
No, we always check with the students actually, like what do they want to study, and
Yeah.
what the qualification do they have.
Yeah.
Mostly, what do you do? I mean, we try to mix and match. Like,
Exactly.
okay, they want to come here and they're here, so we try to match what they can do based on their qualifications.
Yeah.
Suppose you have a qualification but you cannot go that rich level,
Yeah.
so we try to do with your profile, I mean, try to put you as much as high level as we can, but in some extent we cannot do more than that, because you students supposed to have something, if they do not have anything, what can we do for them, right? I mean, I always hear the questions like if students look for the scholarship, so if they do not have any qualification, what can we do?
Yeah.
We can assist them to write a motivation letter, but we cannot add anything like what they do not have.
Yeah.
So these are the matters to get the scholarship as well. So anyway, here we have the question: I'm masters in geology and masters in education. Kindly advise suitable course. So in this case, actually, please send us your academic documents, and then we'll have to check those documents, and then we'll can tell you actually based on your documentations and which country are you from. Actually, I don't know anything here right now. So then, based on all of the documents, then I can recommend you the programs actually. Otherwise, it's very difficult just to knowing like it's geology. So on the screen, you have our email address. Please send us all of the academic documents. Then we'll let you know. Monjur Moshud Shorab. I completed my master's from Maladalan University in International Marketing. My purpose is to get a skilled marketing related job, but without Swedish language, how can I get a skilled job?
Well, thank you for your question again, Shoro. But if you have completed a master's from Maladalan University in international marketing, and that means you have stayed in Sweden, so you already know what are the requirements of landing a job without Swedish language or with Swedish language. So if I have not studied this subject, I'm not from that field, and I don't research about this field a lot. So I won't be able to exactly say anything to you, but my advice would be to seek advices from your professors, your teachers, and also your fellow colleagues who probably completed their masters and already are working somewhere, or your alumni. Alumni could give you very good advice, I believe. So try to look for all those opportunities and try to meet new people who are working in your field, because you have to expand your network in your field, and then you get to know how you can, suppose without Swedish language, land a job if that's possible in your field. But good
All
luck.
right. Yeah, I would like to add that, like, as he has, sure, thanks for your question. So, as you have as you're saying that you have finished your masters from Maladalan University, what I would suggest you in Sweden, of course, most of the company we know like is Swedish, but there are also international companies as well. Those are working internationally. So, in this case, you can look for the international companies. You can look for the international companies, and over there you can look for your job. That could be one kind of help, because they will not look for that type of Swedish, I guess. Because some of the company, of course, there is international companies, so in that case they can help you to get the job. Because Sanjeev, the fact is there are so many other companies, even in Sweden, so many companies, those are international, but the problem is sometimes if you work for those companies, you have to go to different countries, you have to travel to different countries.
Yeah.
So some of us, we are stick with Sweden, you know
Yeah, exactly. I
we
understand.
are stick with Sweden. So we know, like, okay, we cannot so we don't want to get the opportunity there, we don't want to get the job there, because we know if I take the job from that particular company, then I will have to go to, let's say, China, or I
Yeah.
will have to go to other countries. So that's another problem. But it's no problem about getting the job.
Well,
If you
yeah.
like to get the job internationally, because some people they like it actually. Because in a way, it's also, it depends. Like if you love to travel, then it's not bad ideas actually. I mean, you are going to different countries and getting doing a job. I
Well,
mean
yeah,
that
I understand and I agree with your point. At the same time, I realize, because I am a international student here. So when you come to any country, you definitely want to complete your studies and stay in that country. But yeah, as I said, then if I want to stay in Sweden, then I have to fulfill the requirements in order
exactly.
to get a job. I can't, like, yeah, definitely we all can complain. We have the right to complain, but only complaining doesn't help.
No, exactly. You have to follow. I mean, what is the requirement for your particular things?
Yeah.
So there is no right, no wrong. It depends on the situation. Anyway, good luck, Shurab. Hope you will get it soon. Mm, Here's one more question here. As I know, University of Boras offer a scholarship for textile background student. My question is how I apply for this scholarship as well. What's the requirement? So go ahead.
No, you can. If you want, you can. Then I can say.
So here in general requirements is you have to have IELTS 6.5. On the other hand, like of course there are so many programs. So on their programs they have specific program requirements. Specific program requirements. So if you fulfill those requirements, then you are good with the admission. And then of course for a scholarship, you have to write a very good motivation letter. So if you can write that one, and also if you have a very good results and other things, um, work expenses, if you have articles, publications, those things will help you to get the scholarship. So a scholarship actually depends on so many things. It doesn't only depend on academic result, but also your so many things actually engaged with that.
Yeah.
So feel free to apply anyway. And if you need our professional help, feel free to contact with us. On the screen, you have our email address. So send us your academic documents, and we will help you out. And just to let you know, we are one of the agent. I mean, we are authorized agent by University of Boras, so we can help you out regarding that issues if you need any help.
So, if I may add something to this answer,
Please,
Paya.
please.
So, as I said, when I come to Linnaeus University first, when I applied, Linnaeus was my second choice. I applied to Lund University, but Lund did not happen. So, I came here. I studied without any scholarship at first. So, I completed my first year, and then I had applied to Malmo University second year as my first option, and then I got accepted. And after I got accepted, I had applied for the scholarship there, the Malmo University Master's Scholarship. So, if you're applying for a scholarship, the first requirement for you should be, if you're doing it yourself, then you read everything. You read the requirements. If you're asking what are the requirements, that is not a way. You can't come abroad and expect everyone to answer. Like now, you can get help from JRK, or and they will advise you according to their professional way. But even if you come here to Sweden as a student of JRK, you even get a scholarship, you still need to learn how to read all these requirements yourself, because JRK will not be always there for you.
No, true,
No
true.
one is always there for you. So you have to read all of those. And I read the requirements of Malmo University's Master's Scholarship. I wrote a motivation letter according to the requirements and my profile. I knew what are my strong points, what are my weak points, and what the scholarship requirements wanted. And luckily, fortunately, I got the scholarship. So it matters what are the requirements, and you have to read them. Or if you get help, even if you get help from JRK, I strongly believe that everyone should read them. And I think you will also agree with it, because you came here, you applied yourself. So you have to read the requirements. You can't ask what are the requirements all the time. Like, I know this might sound very harsh, but this is fact.
It is, it is, it is, it is. I mean, students will have to know. I mean, I hear this kind of questions always. Like students they ask me like, can I get this scholarship without IELTS?
Yeah.
So even they don't ask me this sentence in English. They ask me it's in their own language.
Okay.
So let's say I understand that language, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make a sense.
Yeah.
You have to understand. I mean, why university will provide you the scholarship? You have to have something, even though sometimes you have something, but still you might not get the scholarship. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
It always comes from the top.
Yeah.
Maybe you are so good, but still you might not, I mean, get the scholarship.
There is a saying, when it comes to scholarship, you have to know how to sell yourself,
But
because
still
it's all
it's
about
still
selling your profile.
no, exactly. But still the fact is, let's say there is 20 scholarship, there is 100 students,
Yeah, definitely.
more or less all of them are qualified. They
Yes.
believe they're qualified, therefore they applied for. But
Yeah.
still, can everyone get the scholarship? No.
No, definitely. Yeah, I understand.
So, like this year, like from Bangladesh, 15 students got the essay scholarship, and among them, one of JRK student got the essay scholarship.
That's
So,
great.
yeah, it is. And then, just to let you know, like for essay scholarship, in each 100, two persons got the scholarship. So, can you imagine how competitive it is?
Yeah.
Even not all of the students dare to apply for the essay scholarship, because to apply for the essay scholarship they ask for actually lots of documentations
Yeah.
and lots of things. Is even as a agent when we are working for, it's more work rather than university scholarship.
Definitely. SI scholarship is a hell lot of work.
Lots
I
of work,
remember.
lots
Yeah.
of work, right? So then can you imagine, even lots of students they don't apply, so even those are applying, so of course they at least they thought they might be eligible.
Yeah,
And then out of 100, only 2 students got the SI. So can you imagine how competitive it is?
definitely.
But anyway, what I would like to say, I would like to encourage all students, you should apply. Definitely, you should apply. Because if you don't apply, you don't know, what's your weakness.
Exactly. Exactly.
Maybe you are estimating yourself very high. Maybe you think you can achieve everything. Then apply.
True.
Then if you get it, then of course you can estimate yourself high as well. But if you don't get it, then you know what's the reality and what's the things you have to improve with. So we should definitely apply. You would like
Yeah.
to add something, Sanjay?
No, I think yeah, you summed it up, and as you said, it's always good to apply in a way that you learn what are your lackings and how you can improve those. And I believe then you can come up with like how you should do things, what you should change, and what you should add. And like as you say, a lot of people ask you whether IELTS is important or not. So if you apply, you come to know that when you get rejected, you understand IELTS is important.
Yes.
So it's always good to know about things before and start working on those
Yeah,
if you're going
exactly.
to any country.
You have to put the time.
Exactly.
Even you are writing a motivation letter, you have to spend the time on it. At least
Definitely.
you should spend 1 week for that. Maybe
Definitely.
200, 300, 400 words is okay. But if you write a 200 or 400 words just in 1 hour, then if you write something in 1 week, that will be really better than something you wrote in 1 hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So you
Definitely.
have to understand, you have to write again, write again, write again, then it would be better. So those are the things students should definitely focus on actually, like when is coming for the scholarship.
Yeah.
I mean, make themselves qualified. We want students to come and get the scholarship, so that getting the scholarship is always good, so that they don't have to spend that much money. I know, like as international students, it's not really easy to
Yeah.
spend all of the money from your pocket. So
But I will add something more to
yes,
that due to my experience of staying here. It's not only about scholarship. Suppose if you apply through JRK, and
mhm,
suppose JRK helps you to get accepted and then also probably land a scholarship, you come here and then you don't study.
there is no
And
point.
that is a common thing that we hear from other international students, from university staff, that what happens to people, they why don't they come and study, like people who get scholarship. That's very frustrating. Like that was very frustrating for me
True,
when I
true.
first came, because I did not get a scholarship, so I had to pay my fees. And I heard people coming with scholarships and
Even
not
I've
studying
told,
anymore.
even I've told you. Few names and so
Yeah.
on, right?
So this is very sad. So it's not only about scholarship, it's about your clear intentions. You need to have clear intentions to study. I
I mean,
understand it's very hard financially, it's a lot of money, but like you take time. I believe everyone should take their time, set their intentions clear, know what they want to do, have their purpose clear, and then move to whichever country they go to. It doesn't matter, Sweden, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you go to.
and ultimately, finishing the degrees should be
Exactly.
most important thing,
Exactly.
because degrees has its values.
Education has its values. I
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then wherever you go, you have your values.
Yeah.
And the problem is you cannot finish your degrees in all of your years actually in
Yeah.
lives. Though it's saying there is no age for the education, but it is sometimes.
Yeah.
When you'll be older, you cannot finish your degrees. It's difficult. I'm not saying is you can't, but it's difficult.
Yeah. I think the motivation
Yeah,
matters.
it's
Yeah.
difficult. So try to finish your degree, then focus on your job.
Yeah.
But we have to approach something, then we'll get something definitely. This is how I believe, Tajim.
True.
I mean, I know like lots of international students. They came here and they didn't finish actually like their degrees, though they got the scholarship. And I agree with you. The most important thing, whether the students have their intention for the study or not. Instead of getting the, I mean, it doesn't matter whether they got the scholarship or not. I know like few students who didn't get the scholarship, but still they finished their degrees because they had their intention. So intention is most important thing actually. So anyway, so we discussed a lot. But for Bangladeshi students, what do you think about like what will be their advantage if they come to Sweden?
Uh, as a Bangladeshi coming to Sweden, I would say as a student, Sweden, like compared to other countries, a lot of other countries, Sweden is the education is quite reasonable. Like you don't have to pay a lot of money, which is one of the reason I came here to.
True,
But and also you get good value for your education. Like
true.
definitely, that's for sure. And you have like jobs about part-time jobs. I understand it's very hard for us coming from our place or Asia and spending this much money without any job. Jobs are available, yes, definitely they are available in every city, smaller or bigger cities. But you have to understand, if you're living, suppose if you're living in Dhaka, you have more job opportunities. And if you're living in, suppose, Pabna or Choranga, then it's a small city, so you can't get as much as jobs as possible in a bigger city. And you have to work on it, you have to talk to people, you have to go to places, ask for job. And a lot of us, like I started with a job which I did not get the Swedish salary. It was very hard for me to adjust to it, but those that is all the way we learn, okay, if I
Exactly.
need to stay here, I need to do this hard work. And that was the experience I gained. Like it
Exactly.
did not go to vain. I can still write that in my CV that I worked here for a month or two. So you have to realize all of that, have the intention clear, and then come here. There are people, Bangladeshi people, in almost every city in Sweden now, and you have to know everything properly. Like I see this question in Vecro Campus Facebook group that I am coming this month. I need an accommodation. Whereas the university sends email, or the student association here, Linnaeus Studenterna, sends email to every international students with the accommodation links. That you go to Boplatz, you open an account, or also in Student Union website, the accommodation ads are there. No one even reads them. Just when you get your visa, you think about, oh, I'm going to Sweden, I'm flying to Sweden, that's it. And I am looking for a job. No, you have to know all of these. Spend time, because if you spend time, if you know all this information, it won't be a waste for you.
It is.
So good luck to not only Bangladeshi students, but to students all over the world. And welcome in till Sverige.
Understand.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But thank you so
No,
much.
no. Sweden is really a good country for. I mean, for the students
Yeah,
actually, right?
definitely. It's a good country to study. It's a good country to live. It's a beautiful country. Like the weather now, the summer, it's proper summer. So you have lakes, you have beaches, you have forest, you have everything that you want. A good environment. It's safe.
Yeah, it is one of the safest country,
Yeah,
peaceful country, and especially like the people who wants to come with their kids. So it's
yeah,
good for the
definitely.
kids as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I
like
mean,
a
it
lot of
has
people
lots of
stay here. A lot
opportunity.
of people. Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I would like to add, Tanjim, the fact is, there are lots of opportunities, but you have to know how will you grab it. But then you say, oh, even I don't know that. Then there is a problem. If you don't know anything, then there is a problem.
yeah, definitely.
You have to understand something. You have to be
Yeah,
good at something. If you are good at nothing, then there is a problem. But trust me, if you are good at something, whatever it is, if you are good at something, you can shine in your life. But if you are good at nothing, then there is nothing.
exactly.
So you have to do something. And life, I always say that the life is not made of roses.
Yeah,
We have to work hard.
definitely.
Still, I work 7 days in a week, 30 days in a month, and 365 days in a year.
Yeah,
You know very well, I think, right? So I mean, I do not have any specific holidays,
Yeah,
but I love to. So therefore, because I want to reach in some position in my life. So
exactly.
anyway, we are end of our sessions today. I think Rise Mohammed said, yes, thanks, sir. I will send my documents. You guys are really great efforts in the field of education. Thank you so much. We are trying our best to help you out, all international students from wherever are they from. So mostly, previously we used to work with Asian students, African students, but recently, Tanjim, maybe I've told you last time when I met. Recently, we are planning to help Swedish students as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll start with Swedish students, but our plan to, I mean, extend it to all European students as well. So, I mean,
right.
we want to make it truly international. From where the students comes from, it doesn't matter to us. We would like to help all of the students. So,
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to you, and
oh, thank you, thank you. We are trying our best.
definitely you will reach your target.
We're trying our best. I mean, so that we can. I mean, we can we can do something. I mean, we like to do something for everyone, for Sweden, because we have. I mean, if we make the money, we are paying the taxes to Swedish government. So we can. I mean, we are contributing the society,
Yeah,
and we are bringing the students from other countries, and we are. I mean, contributing there as well, because we are helping their students. So we would like to help more people, more and more people. So, would you have any final words for students, all the audience, or your friends in Bangladesh, India, anywhere of the world? Any final words?
বাংলাদেশের সবাইকে আমি আশা করি আপনারা সুইডেনে আসবেন, কিন্তু একটু সবাইকে পেশেন্ট থাকতে হবে, কষ্ট করতে হবে এবং কষ্ট করার মানসিকতা নিয়ে আসতে হবে। এবং আমার বিশ্বাস সবারই কিছু না কিছু হয়, কেউ খালি হাতে, খুব কম মানুষই ফেরত যায় হয়তো।
Sure.
এই জন্য কষ্ট করতে হবে, কষ্ট করার মানসিকতা নিয়ে আসলে অবশ্যই এখন যারা আছে, বা সেটা আপনি জেআরকে দিয়ে জেআরকে স্টুডেন্ট হয়ে এখানে আসেন, বা জেআরকে স্টুডেন্ট ছাড়াও এখানে আসেন। যেমন আমি জেআরকে স্টুডেন্ট ছাড়াই এখানে আসছি, কিন্তু অভিজিৎ ভাইয়ের সাথে আমার পরিচয় হওয়ার পর থেকে সে আমাকে প্রথমে অনেক হেল্প করছে। সে আমাকে বাজার দেখানো থেকে শুরু করে ছোটখাটো জিনিস, এবং সময় আমরা রাত্রেবেলায় অনেক আড্ডা দিতাম এক সময় পাই। আপনি সুইডেনের বিষয়ে কথা, এখানের বিষয়ে আপনি পড়ার মোটিভেশন দিতেন, সবসময় বলতেন যে পড়ালেখা করো। সবাই এখানে আপনাকে হেল্প করার মানুষ আছে, এবং নিজের থেকেও জানবেন, জানা সবসময় ভালো। এবং আমি আশা করি সবাই সুস্থ থাকবেন করোনার মধ্যে, এবং দেখা হবে সুইডেনে।
That's great. So, thank you, Tanjim.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
So, thanks especially like for joining the program today. I know like you are very busy, but still you made your time and you came here. I hope our students, I mean, from all over the world, they have seen us today, and maybe they will watch it later on even, because it will be saved in our system, so they can watch it later on as well. But I hope this conversation will help them all to understand the reality and focus on their, I mean, education. So we, dear viewers, thank you all, those you have watched from different parts of the world. So at the end, we would like to say that actually, thank you. And if you have any more questions regarding your studies, um, any countries, like we are working for Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Belgium, Germany, UK, Estonia, Canada. For those countries, JRK International Education Consultants is providing the service. We are working for different universities in each countries. So if you have any queries for studying in those countries, and also specifically in Sweden, as we are based in Sweden, so we used to say that Sweden is our home country as a company. Of course, it is, right? And that's why you see everything is like yellow and blue, because Swedish flag is yellow and blue, you know. So we want to make it truly Swedish. So if you have any more queries, feel free to contact us. You have our email address on the screen. Also, you have our WhatsApp number. So I would like to request you all, please send us the email rather than even call, because sometimes when you call us, we are on another call. It takes long time for answer. So better if you text us, If you text us or if you send us email, then our dedicated team will reply you all of the emails or text. Is better, to be honest with you, rather than just making us call, because it's difficult, to be honest with you, like making, I mean, give all of the answers over the phone sometimes, rather than, I mean, without seeing the documents. Because sometimes students send us the, I mean, say, can I do this, can I do that, I mean, without knowing their documents, without knowing their profile, you cannot say anything.
Yeah.
You do not have that right, because it takes time. So please send us the documents, send us your queries, and then this is what I can tell you. We will try our best to help you out. So thank you all. Thank you, Tanjim, and thank you all for watching our live sessions today. And if you like our videos session today, please feel free to share so that your friends and relatives will be benefited out of this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Tanjim. Bye bye.
Thank you.